man, I've had a lot of obstacles and up and downs in my career, but I got to look at this like it's just another day at the office, man. I can't let the pressure get to me too bad.
Kyle O'Reilly, the man of the moment. Welcome to Gorilla Position. How are you doing today?
Great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on. And I've got to say, the posters that I'm seeing in the back of your shot right now, lovely, lovely stuff. Talk me through them.
They're commissioned by this tremendous artist. I think he's based out of Australia, Sam Evans, and he painted these for me. There's WrestleMania 8, it's Brett and Piper. SummerSlam 92, we got Brett and Bulldog, obviously. And then I got a third one over here. If you can see it. It's Dusty and Flair all bloodied up. So that's a cool one too.
Wow.
So yeah, he did great work. So you can look him up on Instagram and show him some love, everybody.
Absolutely.
Sam Evans art, I believe. Yeah.
Great stuff. They're very cool. Well, I mean, so nice to meet you. I've interviewed so many, sort of pretty much every WWE talent there is, but we've never met. So it's a real pleasure to have you on the show. As we record this, we are 2 days away from the biggest match of your life, really, I would say. Finn Balor, NXT title at Takeover 31. Can you possibly put into words what this opportunity means for you?
It's been hard to find the words these last 2 weeks since becoming the number one contender. And man, I've had a lot of obstacles and up and downs in my career. But, I got to look at this like it's just another day at the office, man. I can't let the pressure get to me too bad. And I feel like I've been under some high pressure situations in my career. But I feel I tend to deliver under those situations. And I'm going to make the most out of this opportunity. And I'm super excited for Sunday.
And how did it come about? Because has it been in the planning for a while? Because I think when you won the gauntlet match to get this opportunity, it took a lot of people by surprise. Yeah,
absolutely. That's kind of the nature of the beast in this industry. It's a lot of things come at you, I guess, for lack of a better term, in short notice or unexpected. But that's just how it's kind of always been. These opportunities arise suddenly quite often. And we've always just make the most out of these opportunities when they're given to you. The gauntlet was it was a tough match to get through, and coming out the other end, I was like, oh, I'm actually the number one contender now. This is crazy. 2 weeks till Takeover. All right, well, let's do this. So yeah.
and so when did you find out that now was your moment? Like, was it a thing that happened on the day?
I had to win the match, right? So,
yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay, well, you've been a prominent part of NXT for a few years now. Obviously, 3-time tag champ. But as we're talking about, so many people, wouldn't expect you to be in an NXT championship title match at a takeover. Has there been someone backstage championing you and pushing for this to happen?
I think everyone in the Undisputed Era we all support each other and we all believe in each other. And I feel like any of the 4 members of the Undisputed Era combined could be the best tag team in the world, just like any of the individual members could be the top singles wrestler in the world. So those guys have definitely been championing for me to, see what I can do in the singles department. And they've supported me and they believe in me. So there's no love lost there. There's no bad blood about me getting this opportunity, because I've had singles success in the past and was able to juggle being an elite tag team guy while being a singles guy. So I feel like this will be no different when I am the NXT champion. Hey, maybe me and Bobby will just challenge for the tag titles again and I'll be a double champ.
I'd love to see it. What do you think about the idea of Undisputed Era not being a brotherhood anymore? I feel like NXT told such a lovely story last week of you and your career and that amazing face-off with Finn and with Shawn Michaels in between the two of you. I love that segment so much. But the story of the 4 of you and your relationship is being so well told. But how would you feel if suddenly you were facing each other? Is that something creatively that you'd be quite excited about?
That's the funny thing about this. And anyone who is aware of the Undisputed Era's past knows that we have fought each other tooth and nail in our past, against each other, with each other, all over the world. But I feel like we've grown up a lot since then. And when you look at the Undisputed Era, it is a true, genuine brotherhood. I know when it comes to factions or tag teams in WWE, everyone's sort of waiting for the shoe to drop. All right, well, when's Homeboy going through the barbershop window? We know it's happening. But I think that's what's unique about the Undisputed Era. It's that there's no desire amongst any of us to compete against each other. It's a true, genuine bond and brotherhood. And I think that's really going to surprise a lot of people, because I don't foresee that happening, to be perfectly honest with you.
Okay. And talking about your past, and you had long stints in Ring of Honor, obviously in New Japan Pro Wrestling. There was a time when WWE seemingly paid no mind whatsoever to other sort of smaller indie promotions and what they were doing. That has changed dramatically over the years, and I feel like NXT was born out of a sort of desire to want to cater to that younger male demographic again.
Sure.
But did you, going through the ranks, did you ever expect so many of you young guys would actually find a home in WWE?
It's so crazy to think that so many guys that I've shared locker rooms with all over the world in small little bingo halls, and now we're here together under the biggest wrestling company in the world. It's super surreal, and there's a lot of guys that have paved the road for us to make that happen. Guys like Daniel Bryan, like Cesaro, like these are guys who cut their teeth on the independents. And WWE saw something, and all right, well, let's take a chance, because they weren't really hiring the typical quote unquote indie guys at the time. And so I think they helped sway the opinion of the powers that be. And okay, well, let's give some opportunities to these guys. Let's make NXT. Let's make this sort of I don't want to say like an independent promotion, but it kind of is an entity of itself. I just think that's so cool, because it really has the best of both worlds. It's everything that I loved about being on the indies. Like when we would do road loops with NXT, like a lot of these venues were bars and like smaller concert halls. And that's what I love, that, because the acoustics are so good. The fans are so incredible. And like when we came over for NXT UK, we did Royal Albert Hall. Like we get to see a lot of these amazing venues that might not typically be used in a main WWE setting. So I think that is just so freaking cool that we get to kind of experience the WWE theatrics and production, but still kind of maintain what made us all special. And that is just, it's really hard to put into words what makes it unique, but it does kind of have that sort of independent influence.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique mixture, and it's the perfect hybrid. Like that's
For sure.
That's why NXT is my favorite brand. I absolutely love it.
Agreed.
What matches have you been watching in preparation for this encounter on Sunday with Finn?
I feel like I've been a student of the game for a long time, and I've had my sights. I know it's cliche. I've had my sights set on Finn for a while. I've been a fan of his, and I've seen all of his big New Japan matches, all of his big WWE matches, his big NXT Takeover matches. Like I've been going down the rabbit hole and pretty much watching everything, but I have for a long time anyway. So I feel like I've got a good grasp on Finn, and I think that's what's going to give me the advantage, is because there is so much content available to study up on Finn. Whereas with me, I mean, he's had more singles matches in this last month than I've had in 3 years in NXT. So in terms of being able to prepare for me, I really don't think he's going to be able to, because there's a lot of tools and weapons that I haven't unleashed yet. I'm not going to have a tag partner there to tag out, but I think that there's a lot that I have that will be unexpected for Finn. And I think I'm going to be able to catch him off guard.
Well, I can't wait to see it. The amazing artwork on your walls will obviously attest to this, but you are a lifelong fan of the business. Is there a championship match main event that you remember watching as a kid that made you feel how you want the fans to feel this Sunday?
I remember going to my first ever WWE event, and the feeling of walking in the arena and seeing the ring for the first time, and my dad buying me a DX t-shirt. I can still picture the smell of that t-shirt and the feeling that it created in me. That's just what I want to capture. It's so like, I mean, that event, the main event, the championship match was Stone Cold versus The Undertaker in a Buried Alive match.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay. It was that one. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I guess it would be that. That was like the first ever championship match I saw live. And the feeling you get from something like that is indescribable. So if I can capture just a small fraction of that to pass on to anyone else watching this championship match, then I've done a good job, I think.
Yeah. Now, have you got type 1 diabetes? Is that right?
Correct.
And what sort of impact has that had on your career and also just day-to-day life, just to explain to people that don't know much about it?
A day-to-day life, it's a constant mental and physical grind. It's a struggle, and it's something that you never know what's going to happen, but it is something that you can control and maintain. That said, like, I've never really been one to sort of woe is me or complain about it, because I know people have things so much worse. I mean, there's kids that are 5 years old and they have cancer and they're literally fighting for their lives. So me having type 1 and still being able to live out my dream, like, I really, there's nothing to complain about there, because I'm inspired by people who have these ailments and they get up and go to work every day regardless. So if I can be a small shred of inspiration to anyone else out there, then I'm happy.
Yeah, great answer. NXT has been through a lot of changes since you guys arrived on the scene a few years back. Lots of talents leaving to go up to the main roster. Transition, obviously, up to 2 hours and a broadcast television show now. What changes have you experienced behind the scenes over the last few years?
Changes, I guess, would be, like you said, going to 2 hours, becoming live. That was a huge change for NXT, because when I first came in, we were taping 1 hour episodes, I think every 4 weeks or so, or every 8 weeks we'd film. Yeah. So going to weekly was a big change. And the pressure of live television is certainly indescribable. And I think that's kind of what we all got into this for, though, right? Like, we were watching live Monday Night Raw every day or every Monday when we were kids, and always dreamed of performing on a live TV routine, I guess, so to speak. So yeah, I'd say that's been a huge change. And coming from like the independence or the world of Japanese wrestling to WWE is a huge step too, because you don't think about a lot of things like camera placement or even subtleties of your entrance and where you're going to move and step at what point of the song. Like, those are all things that WWE does so well. They really leave no stone unturned. And I got to give credit to the production team and the directors and the producers, because everybody has a role to play and everybody makes this special and unique from a visual standpoint. It really, like, the wrestlers are, they're involved obviously, but it's so much bigger than that. And that's something I've really learned and grown with since coming to NXT.
They do production like nobody else, WWE.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah. Takeover apparently coming from the Performance Center rather than Full Sail on Sunday. Is this true? What's the reasoning behind it? Is it a long-term thing? Can you give me any answers?
To be perfectly honest with you, this is the first I've heard of it. So, yeah, I guess this is news to me as well. I typically don't really have my finger on the pulse with things of that matter. I'm focused on the match first and foremost. So if it's at Full Sail, if it's at the Performance Center, if it's at the Tokyo Dome, it's irrelevant to me, because I plan on entering this match and finishing Finn as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
An NXT takeover at the Tokyo Dome. That would be lovely.
That would be sick, right?
That would be
NXT
so good.
takeover Cork and Hall would be. Oh, that's the stuff dreams are made of right there. Yeah. That'd be so cool.
We've stumbled on something here. Final question. If WWE is number one and the biggest wrestling platform in the world, who should be in WWE now that currently isn't?
Someone that we should get in WWE.
Yeah.
That's not here right now.
Yeah.
That's a really tough question. A guy I've been a fan of for a while and friends with is Jay White. He's a guy I saw go through the dojo system in Japan, and he's really grown into himself, and I think he's an elite performer, and he's one of the best in the world right now. So I think it's only a matter of time till Jay White is a top guy in WWE, in my opinion.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, Kyle O'Reilly, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Best of luck on Sunday. I'm genuinely thrilled for you, and I can't wait to watch that wrestling magic unfold on Sunday.
Hello, you! Hi! Thanks for clicking on to the Gorilla Position YouTube channel. If you enjoyed my interview with the brilliant Kyle O'Reilly, and if you enjoyed the other interviews I do with WWE superstars, please hit that subscribe button and you'll be personally notified every time a brand new video drops. While you're at it, go check out the Gorilla Position podcast. It's the biggest WWE podcast to come out of the UK, and it drops every single Wednesday. So go subscribe on whatever podcast platform you use. You will love it. Get yourself involved. Follow us on social at WWEGP. And finally, underneath this video, leave your comments. Get involved. Let's have a natter. Wherever you are in the world, let's share in our love of WWE together. See you soon.